What's up, Basketball Brain fans and members? Please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Today I want to talk about something I've noticed in killers. Well, first let me say this. Like and subscribe. If you do, you'll get in the zone all the time. And go to BasketballBrain.com to get the full program. App coming very soon, hopefully end of the month. Anyways, I've noticed in killers, I've noticed in legends that they're humble before the gods of their sport. I've noticed it in CEOs too, of artists, before the gods of their industry. They're extremely humble. They don't want to anger them. I'm talking the best of the best. I watch Tiger Woods. He always talks about the golf gods. Michael Jordan always showed a respect for his opponents, respect for the game. And the respect is shown through the dedication you put into it, through sacrifice. Just as they used to sacrifice, ancient cultures used to sacrifice the things that were most important to them. Women, cattle, young men for battle. They would sacrifice these things to show gods. The gods are most important. Well, your sport has a god. And that god is that it's really something in your unconscious, okay? So there's something in our mind, because of the way we're raised, most of us, that we don't allow ourselves to have success until we've worked enough. So the gods are really just something in our own consciousness. Though I do know athletes who think there are powers that be that look down upon them, and if you're not working hard, you won't be rewarded. It's summed up in the phrase we've all heard, God helps those who help themselves. Well, killers, legends really believe this, that if they don't work extraordinarily hard, put in long, arduous hours perfecting their craft, that they will not be rewarded, that the gods will not allow their field to have a great bounty during harvesting season. That when the season comes for your sport, you won't be able to perform if you haven't been killing yourself in the off season. If you haven't been planting, you won't be able to, or you won't be able to reap the rewards of your sowing. So there's this belief that you cannot anger the gods. That's a sign of humility, that there are powers greater than you, that your mind is not going to allow you the success you want until you sacrifice enough time, sacrifice free time, sacrifice junk food, sacrifice comfort. In every workout, you're feeling pain, you're pushing yourself, putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. That's showing the gods of your sport or your industry that you're humble, that you respect what it is they represent. Now, at the same time, the exact same time, killers are confident, extremely confident, like borderline arrogant, but they never cross into arrogance. Because crossing into arrogance would, in a way, suggest that you are the sole source of success or failure in your sport. That there aren't lucky breaks, lucky bounces. So you have to take a step back, because no matter how much you practice, you need some good breaks. You need things to happen for you in the right way. I've done other videos about the uncanny luckiness of some athletes. I've watched, for instance, Aaron Rodgers against my beloved Bears last year during, I think it was a Monday night game, throw the ball directly into a Bears player's chest for an interception towards the end of the game. The Bears player catches it, game over. Bears win, but the guy drops it. And I always see that with greats. Tom Brady in the Super Bowl gets some offsides calls. It gets an offsides call when he threw an interception. You get breaks like that. When I played basketball, I knew I worked harder than most anyone I played against. I remember once or twice I threw a bad pass and the other guy got a fast break going the other way. And I remember running after the guy as he was going down for the fast break layup. And in my mind, I know this sounds crazy, I made him miss that layup. I was granted a certain power because of all the work I'd put in. It happened so many times. And not that I turned the ball over that much, but in different ways, of course, that the sacrifice seems to grant you certain gifts from the gods, and you get lucky breaks. I hit a game winner in high school, and I got fouled, I got hacked. At the buzzer, I let the ball go. It bounced like 4 times over the rim, almost Kawhi-like, and went in. And no need to shoot the free throw because we were down 2, 1 by 1 against our regional rivals. And, you know, it doesn't happen if I hadn't put that sacrifice in. So you start to gain confidence because you start to trust that the gods will provide for you. Granted that you can I am the best to ever do it, I am the greatest in the game, etc., etc. You start to do that. I see athletes fall all the time when they drift into that inflated ego and pride. I see it in MMA. You saw it with like Anderson Silva, who stands there mocking his opponents, gets knocked out. You see it all the time with athletes who talk a lot of trash and can't back it up. Talking trash, typically, especially when it's not done in a lighthearted way, will lead to someone's downfall. We saw it with Conor McGregor against Khabib. He talked himself out of that match in a lot of ways. Talked himself out of that match. So, at any rate, you have to have that weird those contradictory ideas of humility and confidence. Extreme confidence and then extreme humility. If you combine those two, it's an incredibly potent combination. I'm working on a book right now called Powered by Contradictions, because whenever I study rare individuals, it seems they have two separate ideas operating them at the same time. And these two separate ideas make two separate ideas, two contradictory ideas, not just separate, two opposite ideas at the same time operating, seem to give someone peace, calmness, makes them wise, and gives them energy. It gives them peace because, let's say you're ready, you understand war and you understand peace, that you're ready for war and you're ready for peace. They exist at the same time. You're a pacifist and a warrior. Seems contradictory. If you're both of those things, you're ready for war when it happens, and you're ready for peace when it happens. You're not bored by peace, you enjoy peace. So you have these contradictory ideas which make you ready for any event. The world's either at war or it's at peace. We're getting ready for war or coming towards peace. You're ready. Most people are so hypnotized by current situations that they think peace will be forever. Or they're so militarized they think war will be forever. And they're not ready for peace, or they're not ready for war. When you have contradictory ideas, you're ready for either or. So that gives you a calmness. It also gives you wisdom, because you understand people who would want to go to war. You understand people who would want peace. You have a foot in both worlds. You understand at the same time. And finally, it gives you energy, simply because you're not wasting time worrying about things. You know how the world is. So when you're humble and confident, you recognize when it's time to be humble, you're ready for that, and you recognize when it's time to be confident. You're humble when you're in practice, you're confident when you're performing, and you also have a bit of humble expectation that things will go your way because you've been working so hard. And when you're practicing and you're humbly sacrificing, you have a little confidence that this is going to pay off. So these contradictory ideas, it doesn't seem like you can be extremely humble and extremely confident at the same time. These contradictory ideas, they coexist because they relate to each other in ways that aren't always obvious, if that makes sense. All right, guys, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Peace out.